Good Sunday evening, friends. I hope all of you had a nice 4th of July. Ours was very quiet and laid back. Thomas is still recovering from surgery, so he's really not able to get out and about where he has to walk for a long, period of time or stand or whatever. So we were just home today, which I actually love. I love days at home. But as most of you have probably been watching tonight, the goings on with Mark. And, I think we all expected something to happen. I don't know, the full story. Obviously, we're not going to know the truth. But hey, I was over there in his side chat, and, his mods like that nasty Shar and Jennifer Marie, who were just pathetic individuals. Um, then you've got Les, who I don't think that she's evil. I think she's very naive. I don't know how old she is. But let's just go with their theory, okay? That he's bipolar and he's having a manic episode. Well, then he was in this episode before they left to drive 14 hours to go from Alabama to New Jersey to meet a stranger to stay in stranger's home. A stranger who's a known troll and who it's known when he and Mark are together that they lie. Such as last weekend when they were lying and saying that Molasses had been thrown down the steps by Anderson and that she was pregnant with twins and that G has cancer and G dropped dead of a heart attack. All those kind of lies that they tell when they're together. Then we have Marcus told lies from day one. I mean, the clip that was sent to me, the whole 14 hours, he's sitting in the passenger seat because he doesn't have a driver's license. He's talked about DUIs. I assume he's probably had so many DUIs that he's lost his license. And that's just speculation because he said before that he doesn't have a driver's license. So let's think about that. A man that doesn't have a driver's license, but how many times has he driven back and forth to Mississippi? If you don't have a driver's license, that usually means that you should not be behind the wheel of a car. But all you supporters of him, and yes, you are supporting him, yes, you are enabling him. If you belong to his membership, you're enabling him because you know he's all about the money. He's been demanding money all day, every day for the past several days. And if you truly believe that this man is bipolar, if you truly believe that he has PTSD, if you truly believe that he has a traumatic brain injury, then you should be intelligent enough in 2021 to know if those things were true, being on the internet would be the very last thing that he needed. You are encouraging him to continue to stay online, and it's being online that keeps contributing to this sort of behavior. Now, I think he probably has some issues. I don't believe for 1 minute he has PTSD. This is not how it is. You do not hear people with PTSD, and I know because I have a PTSD diagnosis and I've had it for over 10 years. And you will never, ever, ever, ever find anywhere where I've made an ass of myself and I have said, but I've got PTSD. No, you will find that nowhere. People that would have PTSD on the level that Mark is trying to proclaim that he has it would not be cognate enough to know that they had it to be saying that. Hold on 1 second. Hey, babe, can you turn that down a little? Goodness gracious, he's always got some kind of war movie blowing something up around here. You never get the army out of him, especially when they were in for 30 years. Which is another thing that you support. You support someone who has stolen valor. And no matter how many times he tries to twist the story, when you say that you were in the military and you were not, that is stolen valor. But back to his health issues. If you truly believe that this man has mental health issues, then you are not helping him by giving him money, by joining his membership, and supporting this behavior, and giving him a pass for this behavior. Now, let's move on to Tracy. I'm not calling her Mrs. T because, quite frankly, that's stupid. She's younger than me. I'm the elder. If anyone should be addressed as Mrs., she should be calling me Mrs. D. Okay? So, she rides this whole 14 hours with him where he's screaming and yelling to the top of his lungs the whole time. And she's just sitting there, not saying a word, not taking his phone away from him, nothing like that. Let me ask you this, any of you that are wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, why has she still got the tape rolling right now? Okay, you want to say, hey, she couldn't take it away from him. He's out there either with a cop or EMS people or something. He's out there with them. She could very easily turn the computer off, turn the phone off, because I'm going to tell you, if Thomas Duncan acted that way, and he never would, because he's one of the most laid back people you could ever meet. I'm the high strung one. He would never act that way. But if he did, I would take that phone, and he's 6'4". Okay? His hand is big enough to literally kill me if he wanted to. I have no fear of that, obviously. And that phone would have been busted into smithereens. And he would not have been putting any of this stuff from this trip on the internet. Now, Whitty said that he was arrested last night for erratic behavior at a gas station. And I believe Whitty. I mean, he was telling some cock and bull story that he begged them to arrest him and that they wouldn't, and that he was calling them all kind of vulgar names. Well, you know, a cop, if you're sitting there calling a cop vulgar names, they're not just going to say, oh, have a nice night, Mr. Terry. Get back on the road. No, that's not going to happen. It's not. So back to Tracy. Why is she enabling this behavior? He spoke to her like she was a dog in the previous video, and yelling and screaming at her and just disgusting, like he always is when he does things like that to her. Why would she allow her husband? Because if she truly believes he has these issues, and that he's in a manic episode, why would that still be running and him still be live? Because why would she want to further embarrass her husband if this is real? I wouldn't. There's no way that I would. Thomas Duncan would have long ago had the phone busted, because he would never, ever let me embarrass myself like that. Nope, wouldn't happen. Again, if she truly believes that he has this mental illness, why would she have hopped in the car with him to go on a 14-hour road trip to meet a stranger and stay in a stranger's home when he could be a danger to her or others. Because Woody said it was true that he did uh, knock Noodles out. You know, he owes Noodles an apology, and he better be glad Noodles didn't have him arrested right there. Why would you agree to take your husband on a 14-hour trip when you know that, well, I think he's probably on drugs, is what I think. I don't think it's bipolar. I think he's on drugs. He showed a whole bag of drugs. He said that he's a alcoholic and that he had to go to rehab to get off some other pills. And I think he was on methadone. So I think that he's taking something. I honestly think they both probably are, because I don't see how otherwise they could stay up the amount of hours that they stay up. And this is pure speculation on my part, because as I have said, I've never even touched, saw, smoked pot, much less taken anything else. The only thing I've ever taken is anything prescribed to me, and, you know, as taking it as prescribed. So why would she, you know, she's supposed to be this intelligent woman, agree to take him on a 14-hour trip like this, and know, knowing if this is true and this is he's really in a manic episode, that he could be harmful to her or others? Obviously, if the police arrested him at a gas station, you know, somebody had to call him or something had to be seen for that to have gone down. When he was in the restaurant today, I'm going to say something, Dave. If you're listening and anybody wants to clip this for Dave and Becca and Elvis, Mark Terry makes you all look like the upper crust of society. Please, people, do not look at Mark and think that that is an accurate portrayal of Southern people, because it's not. It's not. We all have bad eggs in every state. Just, you know how Elvis used to always go, I'm a YouTube celebrity. Well, he was going around the restaurant passing out business cards, acting like T Nation is some big organization, and telling everyone that he was famous, and in the restaurant yelling the whole time into his phone instead of enjoying the meal with his wife and Noodles, who he had just met, and telling another man loudly what he just told the police or EMS or whatever, that he had not done nothing in 2 years. He has not even wiped his own ass. Tracy just sat there, didn't say, Mark, don't say something like that. I'm going to tell you something. I'm straight up. Thomas would have never said anything like that. Oh, does he cuss? Does he say vulgar things to me, laughing or? Of course, he's a man. Of course. But he also knows time and place for proper behavior. And if he had said something like that in a restaurant, I would have pinched his legs so hard that it would still be stinging. But no, she just sits there like she's just completely out of it herself, just oblivious to any of it. If you truly believe that the man has mental issues, then you are part of the problem that is causing him not to have help, not to get help, because anybody with a brain would know if someone really had the mental issues that you all seem to think he has, that being online would be the very last thing they needed. And I have to wonder if it's not you all that don't have his best interest at heart. Maybe y'all just like a shit show, and you like something to look at that's going to be like a train wreck that y'all just can't turn away from. Because you're certainly not doing one flipping thing to help him or Tracy. Not at all. You're part of the problem. Now, I'm not buying, that it's all mental health. Nah, not buying it. He's in no treatment. He's been supposedly dying and all this kind of other stuff and going to have this and going to have that. He's done nothing. He's not done any treatment. He's not done anything. I have hard to treat depression. I have severe panic disorder, and I have PTSD. And I know what I have to do to keep myself in function. Now, some of it I can't control. I can't control the night terrors that I have, but I also don't get online and blame something else for what I know what is. You look it up. You are not going to find anybody that can predict that they're going to be triggered and say, oh, it's my PTSD. It's my brain injury. No, you're not going to find that. That's an excuse. And Les, I hate to break it to you, but there's not a day that goes by that Mark is not vile and disgusting. It's every single day. And do I care what happens to him? Nah, not really. Nah. I mean, I don't want anybody to die. But when a man finds out that we lost a child, when it was a conversation about painful things in people's lives, and he found out that we lost a child, and he said point blank, who gives a fuck? Nah, I got no sympathy whatsoever for him or his wife. Because not only that, they have both lied on me. And between myself and just lurking, we've proven those lies. Don't know about you all, but I don't take very kindly to people that lie about me. So, no, I don't really care what happens to him. I hope that he doesn't hurt somebody. And she's brought this all on herself. All on herself by allowing him to act the way that he has. You could hear when he was talking to the EMS people or the cops or whoever, it was an embarrassment enough when Elvis would go around saying that he was an international YouTube celebrity. But now you've got Mark telling people that he's famous on YouTube. Well, honey, if he's famous, I guess I must be super famous. I guess most all of us around here should be super famous. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't. And before I hit record on this video, they were still live, still live. And all of a sudden, you know what he was saying? That he felt better. His voice was back to normal. His breathing was back to normal. And he felt better. It was a miraculous recovery. A miraculous recovery. You think that you're supporting him when he's sitting over there night after night saying maggots, 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 and taunting birds and, saying the horrible things that he says about other people? No, you're part of the problem. And I have to wonder if people like Les and that idiot JD, who's too big of a chicken to even come out of hiding. Then you've got Charlotte and Jennifer Marie. I have to wonder if they're not long trolling him? Because you certainly don't care about him. Whitty cared about him. Whitty tried to get them all three not to do this. You know, she knew, as most of us did, that it would either be a shit show that would be like what has happened, or it would be some kind of script that they were going through. And, you know, it just, who would think that it would be a good idea to go on a 14-hour road trip with someone who's been screaming for days? I mean, that's just not, a child would know the answer to that. So I do really and truly, well, I don't even really know what differences we've had. It's just that I call Mark out and she likes Mark, but so I can't really say that Woody and I have had differences. But I mean, I do truly believe that she was genuinely concerned for their well-being and concerned about what could happen, either on the road there or once they got there, like what has happened here. And then, hey, here's another side of it. Mark's claiming that he's fallen down Noodle's steps twice. Is that going to be a lawsuit? He going to be suing Noodles? I mean, you have to wonder when somebody's going around demanding, not asking, demanding that you light him up, light him up, light him up. Going around lying his ass off, saying, I'm Mark the Truth Teller Terry. I've said it from day one, and it's even worse now. He and the truth are strangers. They're strangers. You can sit there and say, I'm the truth teller, I'm the truth teller, I quit lying long ago, and that's a lie in itself. That is a lie in itself. And you don't miraculously just all of a sudden feel better like he did. Tomorrow, it'll be some other kind of shit show. And if he really does have a mental illness, might be other people that are in danger. Then how are y'all going to feel? You that are all joining his membership and lighting him up, lighting him up, lighting him up. You're going to have blood on your hands is what you're going to do. You either love a train wreck or you're naive enough to believe everything someone like him says. Don't know which, don't really care. I stand my ground in saying this would not even be a question had he not come into this community lying from day one. Lying about his son being in the hospital, lying about the stolen valor, lying about Holly, lying about all sorts of things, that having a record deal from every record company offered to him. The man has never had an album. Any of you people that donated money or paid money to get a CD, you're not going to get it because there is not one. There's never been one. If there had been one, supposedly in February they were being sealed and put into the plastic cases. My God, all of that could have been done by hand and walked to each of your houses by now. There is no album. There is no band. He's still lying tonight saying that he can't get on disability because Tracy makes too much money. She could make $1 million a year, and it has no bearing whatsoever on his SSDI. None. None at all. And I know damn well what I'm talking about because all of that was part of what I did, what my business was, and If you don't believe me, you'll look it up. It'll tell you right there. It does not matter. How many lies does he have to tell before you get to the point that you say, well, too much? I mean, is it 200? 300? Does he have to insult you like he's done Patty Lee? Because Patty Lee was a bulldog for him until he trash talked her, and now, she's saying all the things that I've been saying. When, as before, just a few days ago, she disagreed with everything that I said. You're enabling bad behavior. Many of you have children. And if your child lied all the time, I'm sure most of you probably read your children the story of the boy who cried wolf. The only thing is this is a big boy. And you know what he's lying about. You know that, well, you just know that things don't add up. But you're like, oh, let me give some money each month because I'm a bored person. I ain't got nothing to do at night. I just want Mark to go live so I can have me something to do. Well, I got news for you. I got a lot better things to do than something like that. I've never sat and watched through a whole video of his. Probably tonight tonight would have been the closest. And then I was just like, oh, heck, I can't watch any more of this. And who could watch all of his stuff when he's online 24/7? I mean, people tried to be good to him. I tried to be good to him. G gave him chance after chance after chance. So did Wog. So did many people. And all he did was continue to crap on us. See, I'm going to have to go in there and jerk that TV off because it's just too flippin' loud. That's a joke, but it is too loud. But at any rate, those are my thoughts. Haters, don't bother leaving comments. If you're not going to let me be vocal over there and give my opinion, don't think that you're going to be vocal over here on my page and give your opinion. I don't block people willy-nilly. Jennifer Marie's left plenty of crappy comments over here. Never one time have they been blocked because I don't do that. But you people do because you're little baby bitches who can't stand the truth. So, enjoy the rest of your 4th of July evening, and we will talk again soon. Bye now.